upon a time, in a peaceful meadow, there lived a clever little frog named Freddie. Freddie was known for his wisdom and quick thinking. He lived happily in a pond, surrounded by tall, green grass and colorful flowers. One day, two fishermen passed by the pond. However, they left because it was getting late. Freddie, the clever frog, warned everyone that they should escape before the fishermen returned. The next day, the fishermen came back with strong nets. They caught everyone in the pond except for Freddie, who had wisely left. The moral of the story is that it's better to err on the side of caution and assess risks in life. Once upon a time in a cozy little farm, there lived a hen named Henny. Henny was quite lazy. She loved to nap under the sun and hardly ever laid any eggs. Not far from Henny's coop, there was a busy anthill, home to many hardworking ants. One bright morning, while Henny was lounging, an ant named Andy happened to pass by. Andy was carrying a heavy grain of wheat back to the anthill. Seeing Henny lying there, Andy said, "Why don't you collect grains and work like us? Winter is coming, and you won't have any food." Henny chuckled and replied, "Oh, I'll worry about winter when it comes. For now, let me enjoy the sunshine." Months passed, and winter arrived. Henny, who had not prepared, found herself cold and hungry. She saw the ants enjoying the grains they had worked so hard to collect. Henny realized her mistake and learned that hard work and preparation are important. From that day on, Henny decided to be more like the ants. She started to lay eggs regularly and save some grains for the winter. The next year, when the cold season came, Henny was ready. She had learned the value of hard work and never went hungry again. And so, Henny and Andy became good friends, often sharing tips on how to prepare for the future. This story teaches kids the value of kindness, helping others, and how it enriches our own lives. I hope the little ones enjoy Timmy's adventure. The Muddy Elephant and the Clever Crocodile. Once upon a time, in the heart of the jungle, there lived an elephant named Ellie. Ellie was known for her love of adventure and her playful spirit. She loved splashing in the river and rolling around in the mud. One sunny morning, Ellie decided to take a stroll along the riverbank. As she walked, she noticed a crocodile sunbathing on a rock. The crocodile's eyes sparkled mischievously. "Hello, Ellie," called the crocodile. "Why don't you come over and join me on this warm rock?" Ellie hesitated. She had heard stories about crocodiles being cunning and tricky. But she was curious, so she waded into the water and climbed up next to the crocodile. "Isn't this nice?" said the crocodile. "But you know, Ellie, there's something magical about this mud. If you roll in it, you'll become the most beautiful elephant in the jungle." Ellie's eyes widened. She loved the idea of being the most beautiful elephant. Without thinking, she plopped down in the mud and rolled around. The mud covered her from head to toe, and she giggled with delight. The crocodile grinned. "Now, Ellie, there's just one small thing. To complete the transformation, you need to dive into the river and wash off the mud." Ellie nodded eagerly and plunged into the river. But as soon as she was underwater, the crocodile snapped his jaws shut. Ellie realized she had been tricked. She swam away as fast as her muddy legs could carry her. When she reached the safety of the riverbank, she looked back at the crocodile. "Why did you deceive me?" she asked. The crocodile laughed. "Because, my dear Ellie, I'm the guardian of the magical mud. Only those who are kind-hearted and brave can truly become beautiful." Ellie thought about her actions. She had been greedy and foolish. She thanked the crocodile for the lesson and promised to be wiser. From that day on, Ellie was known as the kindest and bravest elephant in the jungle. And whenever she saw the crocodile, she would nod and say, "Thank you for the mud, my friend." And so, Ellie learned that true beauty comes from within, and kindness is the greatest magic of all.
The Greedy Dog. Once upon a time, there was a dog named Buddy who lived in a small village. Buddy was always hungry and constantly on the lookout for food. One day, he saw a juicy bone lying outside a butcher's shop. Unable to resist the temptation, Buddy snatched the bone and ran off to enjoy his meal in peace. But there was a catch. In his haste, Buddy had to cross a narrow bridge over a river to get back to his cozy corner. As he reached the middle of the bridge, he happened to glance down into the water. To his surprise, Buddy saw his own reflection in the water, and he mistook it for another dog holding an even bigger bone. His greedy nature took over, and he thought, "I want that bone too. I should have both bones for myself." Without thinking, Buddy let go of his bone and barked loudly, hoping to scare away the other dog and claim its bone as well. But as he barked, the bone slipped from his mouth and fell into the river, disappearing forever. Buddy's heart sank with regret. He realized his foolish mistake. His greed had cost him the bone he had already possessed. He felt empty and sad, knowing he had nothing to eat now. From that day forward, Buddy learned a valuable lesson about greed. He understood that being content with what he had was more important than wanting more. He vowed never to be greedy again and to appreciate the things he already had. Buddy returned to the village with his head hanging low, humbled by his experience. The villagers, who had witnessed the incident, forgave him and offered him food out of kindness. Buddy wagged his tail gratefully, thankful for their understanding and generosity. From then on, Buddy lived a simpler and happier life, cherishing every meal and sharing his food with other hungry animals in need. And in the hearts of the villagers, Buddy became known as a wise and humble dog who had learned the importance of contentment and gratitude. And so, Buddy's story serves as a reminder to all of us that greed can lead to loss, but gratitude and contentment bring true happiness.